This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, and Laura Lewis. And we'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our patrons who have renewed their annual pledge at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast for another year. And this is a pretty big one because we have so many people who are renewing for their second and third years in a row. So thank you so much for renewing again to Andrea Ramirez, Michael Langer, Big C, Nightrunner Prime, Michael Roberts, Emily Böhm, Tim Gruber, and Darin Douglass. We really appreciate your continued support, and we honestly, truly could not do this without people like you. In this episode, we are talking about Chapter 31 of The Gathering Storm.
Yeah, Chapter 31 is A Promise to Lose Therin. Yeah, I mean, it's he does make a promise.
At the end.
Yeah.
It's the same one he's always been making. I'm not surprised.
I mean, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Uh-huh.
For a long time, he's been on the whole, like, you know, how do I win and not die? Like, how do I do this without dying?
Right, and now he's like, I just can't wait to...
I can't wait till I die, because this is just... I just don't want to deal with people.
Not the best.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you are, like, on board with a lot of his mentality that we see this chapter. We'll talk about when we get there.
Yep.
Because we got to go through...
Couple perspectives.
Yeah,
well,
one perspective first, and,
yeah.
and then we'll get to the other one. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we will do that. Life update. Things are crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Things are nuts, and we're surviving. We're making it work, and we're so excited. We're getting ready for JordanCon.
Yeah, it's less than 2 weeks away.
In the meantime.
I am excited. I don't feel like I've talked about it at all.
Yeah.
But, like, it's coming quickly. And
yep.
I'm excited for it, but basically, like, I'm not going to really think about it until the day we're leaving.
Which is so annoying because
I know.
I can't stop thinking about it because there's so much that needs to get done before we leave.
Also, prep for JordanCon because we're on panels and we should be prepared for them. So we have to do some homework. That would be nice
if we were.
Yes. How long is the flight? how much prep work can we do on the flight?
Not much.
There.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours worth?
We could do some.
Okay.
Probably not that much, but you know.
Some is more than none.
I don't think that we should leave it to the flight.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I recall, last time, it was a long train ride from the airport to the hotel. That was like at least an hour. So if we're counting flight time plus train time, we have at least 3 hours to prepare for things.
I don't really want to do much on that train.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
Got to keep your eyes open. You got to be prepared. Got to be watching out for everybody.
And someone was telling me that there's construction on the whole train thing.
Oh, no.
So you can't even take it from the airport.
Oh, no.
So.
Okay.
We might just Uber.
$1,000.
It might be $1,000 to Uber.
Right.
But that's okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yep. Okay. Let's do this chapter.
Sure.
Now, for the fun fact, I actually thought I'd done this one before.
Ooh.
Turns out, no. So it should be pretty obvious what I'm going to talk about. Do you want to take a guess, or?
Moon and Stars Terengriel.
No.
The Jubilee Booblies? Oh, you
nope.
haven't? Okay.
Nope. So Cadsuane is in Bandar Eben, and she's clomping around in her clogs.
Clogs.
I know
why
everyone
would you have
to...
done that before?
Well, because we've seen clogs before in, like, Tyr, and I figured, hey,
wouldn't
they...
No, I don't think we've ever seen clogs before.
Clogs are literally a thing that people walk on, and she even references it. It's like, oh, it's after the Therin design.
Oh.
They have them there, because, you know, the whole, like, muddy walkways and stuff.
Definitely not something I retained.
Anyways, yeah, so we've talked about clogs, and let's just start with some fun facts that wooden shoes, or klompen, the singular is klomp in Dutch.
I love that.
Are a type of whole foot clog from the Netherlands.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love everything about the Netherlands.
Klompen.
I love everything about the Netherlands. This is my favorite fact.
It'll get better as we go.
I can't wait. No, seriously.
Okay.
I'm not even being facetious. Everything about the Netherlands is, I love it.
I did it. I got one. I got a fun fact that you like.
I don't even know. Your challenge is to find one thing I don't like about the Netherlands.
Okay.
I love it all.
Okay, well, let's just...
love it.
Now, okay. Anyways, so clogs...
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
So
I love it.
Clogs are a type of footwear made either in part or completely from wood, and There's apparently several different types of clogs. Not going to go into that, but going back to the Netherlands here, the earliest known wooden shoes were discovered in a peat bog there, dating back to the 13th century, and the early versions were made from a single piece of wood and were originally worn by farmers and other working class people because they were practical and durable footwear.
Yeah.
Especially for clomping through mud.
Clomping.
There you go, clomping through mud. I think that's where the word came from.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't even know why it would come from anything else.
Yep, so they're fantastic for working in wet and muddy conditions. They were also worn by other outdoor occupations like fishers and sailors and woodcutters.
Now, I've never worn clogs. Do you think that they're comfortable?
Apparently, they are quite comfortable.
Okay.
Apparently, from what I've read, I read a lot about.
Because, like, I need orthotics for my plantar fasciitis.
Okay, I don't know if they're.
I don't
that
think I can wear clogs.
They could be.
They sound like they're gonna hurt my.
They were
feet.
made of wood, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then in the 18th, 19th century, the wooden shoes started being made in two pieces, like a bottom sole made of wood, but then the upper part started to be made with like leather and fabrics. Makes sense. And then some styles of clogs have feet or teeth on the bottom that are designed to sink into the mud to give you traction. And since there's no flexibility in the foot, sometimes the toe would be designed to be curled or curved upwards a bit.
Pointy toes, yes.
So then the foot can be allowed to roll forward. So they're designed that way. Now, there's a village called Enter in the Netherlands. Population's about 5,000. It's pretty small. And it's home to the world's biggest shoe made out of one piece of wood.
Great.
Yes.
Can we
saw
go?
A picture of it. Yeah, it's part of their economy is travel to see not just this wooden shoe, but also they have a museum focused on special wooden shoes.
What?
And ships.
What's it called?
The museum?
Yeah. Museum
Probably
of Wooden Shoes and Ships?
Clompin Museum.
Clompin Museum?
I would assume. I don't know.
I love it.
You didn't even ask how big the shoe is.
I don't even care.
It's the world's biggest shoe.
I believe you that it's big.
It's 13 and a half feet long, roughly.
That's what I was
13
gonna
feet
say.
3 inches, okay?
Yeah, I was going to guess
5
exactly
feet
that.
7 inches wide and 5 feet 7 inches high.
You could, like, lay down in it.
You could.
I would.
You could.
Yeah. You could too. I could lay down in it sideways. You could lay down in it like...
Oh, that's true. I am not 13
way.
feet tall.
No, you could lay down in it like you're a foot, you see.
I could even probably wear clogs in the clompin.
Oh.
Clompin in the clompin and you would still
Clompin in
fit.
the clompin.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's the next trip.
It's good.
I want to go.
It's really cute because I saw a picture.
Windmills.
Saw a picture on Wikipedia and it's like under this little like house, so it's protected from rain.
Oh, I love that
And
for
it's
that
yellow.
clompin. That's great.
Yeah. Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, I did it. I got one. I got one you like.
I like that. Anything like that is so good.
Okay.
I love shoes. You really just got me
More shoe facts.
with the shoes and then the anything in Dutch.
Yeah, hilarious.
Dutch is a great language. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Chapter 31 though. Not so great.
Right.
Not so feel good.
You know, it could be better.
Nobody feels good.
Well, actually the innkeeper here, he is riding high all the time.
Is he though?
Yeah.
Because
let's get into it.
he's like, "Hey you, got muddy clompin.
Yeah.
Get out of here."
Don't bring muddy clompin into my inn.
Okay. The chapter symbol is the moon and stars.
Right.
Terangriel. And we're starting in a Cadsuane perspective.
Yeah.
So interesting to get her take on the situation that's going on.
Yeah. Last time, we knew about the exile of Cadsuane from Rand.
Yeah.
But then in the last episode, we found out that even though she's exiled, she's still hanging out.
Yeah, she is hiding
and
her
now
face.
we get to see her here.
And she's like mad about hiding her face because it's really hot and muggy here.
Yeah. Well, and then they were mad last chapter. It's like, oh, it's really hot and muggy here. You shouldn't be making her do this.
Yeah. And Ron was like, suck it.
Yeah.
I do what I want.
The entire thing is kind of crazy because, like, she is like, no way I'm going to risk my life getting executed by the Dragon Reborn. But also, you're hanging out here and assuming that this technicality, like this loophole in the thing that he said,
gonna hold.
He's going to be like, yeah, it's fine.
Crazy, angry Dragon Reborn.
And he's going to be like, oh, you got me. Technicality. Yeah. Yep, you get to live because I didn't technically see your face.
I know.
But I don't know. So we're really just like hoping that it's fine. And we know it's fine because Rand even thinks like
Ron
whatever
was like,
later. But
shoot.
Got me. Maybe she just really knows Rand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So we're going to see her clomping through the city in her clogs and
yeah.
in her clomping. And she's got her hood up and we find out that she's annoyed that Bandar Eben is packed with people because of the things that Rand is doing, like promising food and stuff.
Yeah, but she has to be here.
Yeah.
But she's not leaving because she's
exiled. And she's annoyed that she's hiding her face because people don't even move on the sidewalk for her.
Right.
And what good is having an Aes Sedai face if no one even moves off the sidewalk for you?
Well, and this is part of the Klompen situation, is because she's wearing the Klompen because you got to walk through the mud, but they also have like those planks, but all the intersections, like she's not from here, so she doesn't know the good ones.
Yeah.
She doesn't know where to walk. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's really, she's having a
rough
rough
time.
She's
having a time.
Probably the worst time of all the people in Bandar Eben.
Yeah, so she heads to an inn called The Wind's Favor.
Yeah.
And she goes inside and takes her hood off and is like, ugh, if Rand happens to be in this random inn, then I guess I just die.
Yeah.
I'm not...
When you've had enough.
Yeah. Now, she's going to get settled at a table, and we're going to learn about this innkeeper.
Yeah, Quillen Tassel?
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the audiobook on this one.
Yeah, I'd say Quillen.
Quillen? Okay.
Yep. And he knows her as Mistress Shore.
Yeah, so did you pay attention to his backstory? Like, there's a little bit here.
Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot.
There's a lot of it, but
there's
there's
so much about this one random innkeeper we're never going to see again.
There's like only 2 pages.
It's so
barely any.
much. I know everything about him and his wife and his entire life history.
Yeah.
And it's been his retirement plan, his life's dream
to
open this inn, but he's rich.
Yes.
His wife was a very successful silk merchant. See, this is how much there was. I'm not even reading.
You're not even reading anything.
I didn't
You're
even
just
write
like looking at me and talking.
That's
wow.
how much I remember.
Amazing.
Because there was so
What did he
much.
do for the business? Because his wife was the silk seller person.
Yeah.
What did he do for the business?
Bookkeeping.
He did do the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay.
Thank you.
And he just loves being an innkeeper so much he doesn't even hire people to help him.
No,
because that would take away the fun of being the innkeeper.
Yeah. She's like, you could just like hire a serving girl or two. And he's like, what?
Why?
No. And he doesn't let any gleemen or musicians in because that would just ruin everything.
Yeah. And like he doesn't need the money, so it doesn't matter if there's business.
And it's like way too clean. There's like tablecloths on the table.
Yeah.
This is like an inn for very upscale people. And there doesn't really seem to be that many of them staying at inns in Bandar Eben.
Yeah.
But
also,
he's got like way too fine wine.
Let's see if you picked up on this part. Who's his daughter?
A brown in the tower.
Yeah.
An Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Who likes reading books.
Yeah, we never really heard about her, but it is actually kind of interesting too, because last fun fact, when we were talking about Eredomin, I had mentioned that it kind of has a play on Iran, and in Bandar Eben, it has the Tirana Library, and the capital of Iran is Tehran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
good one. There. Yep.
I'm going to apologize in advance if there's any crunching.
Right.
On the mic.
You made the most disgusting joke.
Okay, I know you don't like it. I like it very much. It's a passion fruit watermelon cocktail, and I put the passion fruit seeds in the cocktail as garnish because it's pretty.
Yeah.
Except I keep getting them while I'm drinking and have to either just swallow them or crunch them.
That's where we're at here.
And if you're talking, I might crunch the passion fruit seeds.
All right.
That's that.
That's where we are.
That's where we are. Okay. I know you don't like it. It's really good.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It's like a gin fizz, but summery.
It was worse than the one you made me for the Q&A, like yesterday.
No
or whatever
way.
It was.
This is worse than
that.
It's
so worse.
Oh, you're so annoying. It's not. I like it.
Anyway, so Cadsuane tries to slip him some money, and he's like, no. And she's like, well, donate it. Like, if you don't want to keep it, I don't care.
And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we'll see.
And then some guy tries to get into the inn, but his shoes are muddy. And
he's like, get your clomping out of here.
He's like, wipe your shoes. What are you doing? And the guy's like, what?
He just like leaves, backs out. It's good. Okay.
No, I think that he wipes his shoes.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I think he wipes his shoes and comes in. And then he's like, it's so busy in here. Okay, but now it's time for the purpose of Cadsuane's visit.
Right. This guy's good at information.
Information gathering.
Yes, because he's a chatty Cathy.
Yeah, and
he chats up everybody.
And he's a higher up.
Yeah.
His wife was a higher up, like a noble-ish, you know?
Yeah.
We got connections.
Yeah.
So, Cadsuane wants to start with King Elsalam.
Yes.
And when was he last seen?
Yeah.
And turns out some nobles and merchants claim to have received communication with him as recently as a week ago.
Total lies. No way.
But the innkeeper's like,
no friggin' way.
No, we don't believe that.
Yeah.
Because pretty soon after the king went missing, there were all sorts of forged letters from the king that started popping up all over the place. And we know that.
Yeah.
This is all stuff we know already.
So, more credibly, it's been about half a year since anybody has actually seen him.
Okay.
And at first, everyone kind of thought that the Council of Merchants like had him somewhere safe because they're usually in charge of things and they usually stay really close to him. But now he's like, no, that doesn't seem right because now the Council of Merchants are like super disorganized and a bunch of them are trying to like
run away.
Well, or like scoop up pieces of Eridomen for themselves.
Yeah.
It's like that wouldn't happen if the king was still around. So. Mm-hmm. Now, technically, it probably sounds like it does have something to do with Grendel. That's kind of the whole point.
1,000%, yes.
However, we
definitely.
didn't actually see El-Salam captured or imprisoned by her when we got to see her with some of his family.
Right.
Like a long time ago.
But he might have just been murdered.
Very true. Very true. Like
we haven't really heard anything or seen anything.
El-Salam's not here, man. Like he's not here. We got
little glimpses, but like...
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So at least Grendel adjacent. If anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Cadsuane even thinks, maybe Rand is right that this has something to do with the Forsaken. Crazy.
Yeah.
But now we're going to move on to some other news because people are a little bit worried about the Aiel in the city.
Yeah, crazy. There's about 24,000 Aiel in the area.
Okay.
Just your numbers
that
reference.
That feels specific, but okay.
Yeah, well, that's what he estimates it at. So it sounds pretty accurate.
And people are saying that the Dragon Reborn has them here to prove his power and authority, but lots of people are super frightened of the Aiel and won't take the food that they're offering.
Because... The Aiel are using their poisons on them.
Uh-huh.
And Cadsuane's like, Aiel poison? Like, what?
Yeah, that's just racism. No. That's just wrong.
Yeah, well, it is just wrong.
No.
Well, and she's like, hey, wasn't the food going bad, like, way before?
Yeah, and he's like, yes, I know that.
But everyone else
are crazy.
Yeah. Also, you gotta be concerned about Aiel. Like, nobody knows anything about him. Well, I mean, they are kind of like an invading force, and...
Should we just be scared of everybody who looks different than us?
Yeah, that's the lesson here. You never know who's using their poisons on your grain. Even if they're handing out the grain to you, you never know.
Oh, my God. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
And I mean, like, I understand that this is a time of turmoil and suspicious activity and all sorts of crap going down, but to be like, the Aiel and their poisons. It's like, no.
Yeah. Wrecking the grain and then handing it out to the people who are already starving anyways. Yeah. Like, they want you dead. They
just wouldn't give you grain.
Or like, there's so many other options here. They just wouldn't
give you, or they just kill you. They're Aiel.
Yeah.
I know. They don't know, though. You know?
They don't know.
They don't know. All right, but it turns out that there have been all these strange occurrences in this city, and last time we saw when Rand was riding to that merchant council house where he's living now, balconies collapsed and killed lots of people.
Now, this is actually kind of interesting, too, because the innkeeper kind of goes on like, oh, yeah, people are dying, blah, 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 crazy stuff. All the bad things that we know that happen around Rand, they're seeing this. They're seeing a lot of this. But it doesn't seem like we're seeing a lot of the opposite end of the good spectrum.
No, because
we're not seeing the bonus marriages.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, there's all sorts of crazy things happening. People die, blah, blah, blah.
And it's all bad.
It's all terrible. And Cadsuane's like, yeah, but what about the balances of good things? And he's like, oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, say no, but that's concerning. There's no stories about any of that stuff that he's heard, and this is a guy who gets stories.
See,
so
now I'm starting. Yes.
Should we be worried about that? It seems bad.
Yeah.
Because it used to be balanced, and now it's like, no.
I'm worried now.
Yeah.
Now I'm worried officially.
Maybe there's something really good.
Because I was like, who cares if he used the true power? I understand.
Oh, no.
It's bad.
Oh, no,
it's bad now.
Consequences to my actions.
I'm starting to realize that it is actually bad. I didn't know that it was before.
Even though we're like, it's the literal Dark One's essence.
I know that you've said that, but there's been no real evidence in the text that it's actually that bad.
Besides being the essence of the incarnate evil of the universe.
Besides, that's what the stories claim.
Yeah.
But I'm not just believing any old stories here.
Sure.
I need evidence. And now this feels like some evidence. So
a little bit.
It feels like a little bit of evidence. Because that's what I need. Because people have all sorts of crazy stories.
That's true.
You're telling me all sorts of things. I don't know what to believe and not believe.
Fair.
So I'm like, maybe it's actually not as bad as people think it is.
Who's to say that the Dark One is even all that bad? Who gave him the name Dark One anyways? Like that? Okay, really, guys?
No.
Yeah.
Not like that, but... that? I mean, the true power, they're like, oh, that's the Dark One's power. But, like, who said?
Yeah, well, the Dark One, I'm pretty sure.
I know, but, like...
And then all of his evil cronies during the whole War of Power.
That's what the Dark One would say, you know?
Right?
Father of lies and such.
Totally. His name is the Father of Lies, and he embraces it, and it's like...
He's like, yeah,
you know what? Maybe he doesn't
lie
that
all
much.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Like a liar.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. So anyway, this feels bad, and I'll admit that.
Okay. Well, anyways, Cadsuane's a little worried, but we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and that's that.
Yeah, well, no, that's it. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay.
Yeah, now she's gonna leave.
Well, she does say, like, okay, well, maybe, like, listen for those good stories. You know, let me know.
They don't exist, man.
Yeah.
Now, she reluctantly puts up her hood as she leaves the inn, and she starts wondering about these things growing more destructive around Rand, and then she finally admits to herself and us that maybe, potentially...
Just like a part of it, though.
Just like a little smidgen of maybe she's bungled her handling of Rand.
Right. Not
Just
the part,
maybe.
Not the part about the male Adam thing, because that wasn't her fault. She was totally set up.
No, it was clearly done intentionally.
Yes, to set her up and sow distrust.
Take him from her room so that he doesn't trust her.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And yeah. But maybe it was also the theft was to cover up the return of the male figurine to Rand. So that's interesting because Rand last chapter was thinking like, oh, she doesn't know, and now I won't get a chance to tell her that I have that statue back. But she already knows. Probably
she knows.
I mean, she's in communication with the other Aes Sedai too, so not a secret.
And he's like fingering it.
He is.
Wildly, so.
All the time. All the time.
He just loves that.
He has a special pocket. He can put his hand in there.
Yeah, which we'll talk about next perspective.
Okay. Anyways.
I'm like, how big is... I just picture it to be way bigger than...
It's between...
Like, who is he, loyal?
It's between 3 inches and 24 feet. I don't know how big it is. It's huge.
Are his pockets loyal sized? Because
it's a big coat. It's like a big coat. It's one of those big coats, maybe. Or it's like an inside pocket. It's actually quite light, too, so, it's not like weighing down his jacket, even if it fits in the pocket.
Okay.
I got nothing for you.
We'll talk about it next time, or next perspective.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Okay. So, back to Cadsuane. She does think, like, oh, it was bad that Rand had to suffer at the hands of a Forsaken and the torture
being collared,
thing.
And that was bad.
And that's just, like, a drawback for him, or, like, going back.
Because it's only going to remind him of how the Aes Sedai beat him and caged him.
Right. And that was their fault, and that kind of messed up the bungling of everything from the beginning,
But you know what?
Yeah.
Cadsuane, she refuses to think
that
everything is doomed now, regardless of what she tells Rand.
Yeah.
She actually thinks he's doing a pretty good job of ruling.
Which is crazy. It's like, I would never tell him, but he's actually doing a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Like, I would never tell him that he's doing a good job, but
he hasn't grown selfish and petty, and he's not hoarding his wealth, and he's actually making some pretty good decisions. That's
like
what
it's like, why wouldn't you tell him that?
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah. Like,
I've been saying that.
You don't have to kiss his butt. Like, oh, you're the smartest and most... But you could, like, pay the guy a little bit of a compliment once in a while. Be like,
Definitely could.
You handled that pretty decently.
No, but then, how would he trust her again if she starts being nice?
Right.
I said no. I say no.
Doesn't work. Doesn't make any sense. Okay.
No being nice.
Right.
Now, after all this thinking and wandering, clomping, if you will.
Clomping through the streets.
Cadsuane finds herself down by the docks, and it's crowded with people because the Aiel are here distributing grain.
So they can't be that scared of the poison.
These are the ones who aren't scared, okay?
Right, okay.
And she gets a prickling sensation on her back, and she spins around and sees a big procession coming towards her, and it's Rand and his crew.
Yep, here we go.
And she holds her place in the crowd, but she does pull her hood down a little bit.
Yeah.
as he rides past.
This is kind of a hilarious scene, just because of the next perspective.
And he doesn't give any sign that he's noticed her.
Yeah.
But then, as he passes her, out of the corner of her eye, she sees some darkness around him that really can only be seen in, like, her peripheral vision.
Yeah, like, if you look directly
at him, he looks fine, but then there's this darkness about him.
Yeah, it's just like lingering.
An aura.
It's lingering, yeah.
Yeah, and she's never read or heard about anything like this. So there's no way that anybody anywhere could know anything about it because she doesn't know.
That's true. But no, like we also have
no.
Well, we haven't heard anybody know anything about this.
I know that, but like still.
It's probably from the super nice dark one who's actually a good guy. That's probably where that's
just gonna help
from,
Rand,
right? It just gives him protection, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. It can't be
we
bad.
just want to stop going round in circles. Don't you ever want to just get off the merry-go-round?
Right. Okay.
Eventually, we get sick of the merry-go-round.
Wait, what are you saying? Are you saying that
Let's
it shall
break
be
the wheel. Let's just break it.
Let's do it.
Okay, that Ferris wheel is gonna make me throw up. I'm
That's
gonna throw up
true.
on the people
That's true.
below me.
You put me on it long enough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you switched from a Ferris wheel to the merry.
I know, because I thought a Ferris wheel was a better representation
Oh, yeah.
of going round.
Well, both are circles.
I know, but it has the word wheel in it, Ferris wheel,
True.
and
Merry-go-round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's too merry.
that's
we
true.
need like one that's like
Scary go round.
scary go round. I actually don't like a merry-go-round in my adult life
Yeah.
or a Ferris wheel.
That's fair. Now, did you notice that the word tempest came up here?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
guiding
did.
Althor wasn't like guiding a galloping horse. It was like trying to guide a deep sea tempest itself.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
That's okay.
Sure.
Because he used it once.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like that's a fine word to use once.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to point it out.
Mm-hmm. Now, this part is very intriguing to me,
Oh, is it?
and I hate the cliffhanger.
Is this the hook that
This
you...
is the hook.
Okay, you fell
I'm
for
so
it.
intrigued. I
Okay.
want to know what the hell she's got going on in that little head of hers.
Oh, yeah.
In that
An
boobly
idea.
bobbly head.
The light bulb goes off.
Yeah, an idea suddenly strikes her. She doesn't know if it has any real possibility of succeeding, but help her, Obi-Wan.
It's
her only hope.
So we're contacting... Wait, is it R2-D2
Help
who
me,
has
wise
the...
ones.
Yeah.
It's my only hope. Okay, so she spins on her clog heel, and she works
Spins
her
on her
way back
clogs.
down the muddy streets. And she thinks that if Rand really is as rageful as he seems, even this won't help him.
Oh, no.
So,
What
let's
is it,
see.
being nice to him? I don't know. What's the...
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So she makes her way to the Aiel. She finds Noralia and the other wise ones in one of the libraries, sitting on the floor or something. And she tells the wise ones, I have failed. And Bear is like, you know what? There's no shame in
Yeah.
failure
Rand's impossible.
when it's the fault of another
Yeah. And it's like literally Rand is the worst person to deal with.
in history.
Yeah, ever. He's
Yeah.
the most stubborn. Not your fault.
Yeah, you have no toe towards us.
Yeah.
And Cadsuane's like, okay, but I have a plan. Will you help me? And they're like, tell us more.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe we'll help you. Maybe.
And then Cadsuane smiles and she starts explaining her new master plan that maybe works.
Dot.
Yeah. Okay. What's
I don't
the plan?
know. Don't ask me.
Any thoughts?
Nope.
What could it
I
possibly
actually
be?
don't know.
No clue.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Something that even if he is as like it might not. Okay.
No clue. I
Put
don't know.
Putting a dam on him again.
Nope.
No. Okay. Not bad. Nothing.
Nope.
All right.
I actually wish
Yeah.
I had something.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. It's a tough one. Just- Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just like get him in therapy.
Yeah, like maybe. Well, because he is battling. Like the last time we saw Rand, he was like, I have access to the true power, and now I have access to the the Choden Call power too. So both powers can battle against each other. So he's in a bad place of like
Yep.
how much destruction he can wield,
Mm-hmm. Or great.
or great,
place.
or
He's
in a great place.
with how
We
much
talked about this, and okay. Anyways.
I think it's great. I think whatever her plan is probably actually dumb.
Oh, like it's
I
not
don't
gonna
know
work.
what it is.
So whatever the plan is, it's not gonna work.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a prediction. I like
Yeah.
that. Whatever the plan happens to be,
I just
like it doesn't
tell
work.
me more until I trust you. I don't
Okay.
trust you. I don't think so. You know?
Yeah.
No. That's what I got. Okay? Is that okay?
That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's well, I guess break first because we're going to do a perspective change.
Yeah, we need a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll continue.
Yeah, I need to get these seeds out of my drink. Okay, so we are back and we're going to change perspectives.
Yeah. Slight time jump back by like a minute or two.
Oh, time jump back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's Rand.
Yeah.
And he's looking over his shoulder and sees Cadsuane shuffling away.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Clomping away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many times. Like, can I say that probably 6 more times?
Well,
this
like clomping
episode,
is a word I would use regularly. Like if you
Yeah.
clomp around in
Yeah, I
big
know,
clompy
but
boots. Like,
clomping
yeah.
is different than clomping.
Clomping around. Yeah, well, yeah, I get that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like saying clomping.
You know what? You can use it freely until the end of this chapter and then never again.
I don't know. I think I'm going to say it every time someone like walks somewhere.
Okay. You know what? Fine.
Especially here.
If this is how you want to lose all of the people who listen to us, this is how we go down.
This is the hill I die on.
This was the thing.
This is it, huh? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, he thinks to himself, she probably didn't even notice me.
No.
Oh, not that?
No.
She probably thinks I didn't even notice her.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
I was like, someone didn't notice someone.
Yeah, and he's right. She was like, he didn't even notice me, but he did notice her.
Oh, yes.
And then he's like, she probably doesn't think that I noticed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we got it.
And she's really getting by on this technicality.
Yeah, but he's like,
but he's going to let it go. And
yeah.
he also is like, I'm having regrets.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have exiled her in the first place.
Real regrets.
But, really, he can't back down now because the second rule of leadership is you never back down ever.
No, I can't back down.
We're gonna get don't do that. You can't sing any more than that. We have to pay $50,000, I think, to use.
I don't even know what song that is.
I don't know either, but you can't use it. Anyways, always double down and triple down on your opinions, especially when people are harassing you like the Aes Sedai, who are like, you shouldn't exile her. You can't be like, okay.
You can't be like, you're right.
You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta just keep that.
That's in Rand's leadership book. Somehow I managed. And there's a picture of him shrugging on the cover.
Yeah, that's chapter 3.
Never back down.
Never.
If you make a decision, even if it's a bad one,
you stick to it.
Definitely stick to it.
it.
Never let anyone know you've made a mistake.
Because you're going to die soon anyways.
You just
it doesn't
gotta
matter.
go with it.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Now, I had to re-listen to this part several times.
Okay.
Because I was like, who is he talking to?
Naif.
What's going on?
The
Where
Asherman?
are they? Who? What? When?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this person before.
Well, okay.
And I was like, wait, who is this?
So Naif is an Asherman. He's running messages between basically the Shanshan and Rand's people.
Okay,
because
but
they're
we've
trying to set
never
the
heard
meeting.
of Naif before. For sure.
I feel like we have.
No. For sure I've never
Never-
heard of this guy before. And now he's just here doing stuff. And he's
Okay.
bonded to some random Aes Sedai also.
We did actually hear
No,
about him earlier in
wrong.
this book. Twice, at least.
Okay, well.
That's okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
That's
to me.
fine.
If I don't remember, it's new to me.
So yeah, that's the important part. Is he's the Ashman running back and forth between the meetings. They're trying to set up a meeting location because the daughter of the Nine Moons has agreed to a meeting with Rand, but the location is the issue of where we're going to hold this meeting because the Shanshan are like, oh, we got
wants to
power.
meet in neutral grounds,
Yeah.
and they're like, no.
They're saying no to all the places that are possible.
And so Rand says, fine, we'll meet in Fulma. It has a certain historical significance that'll be hilarious because it's where I beat them.
Right? Drove them back into the sea with the Horn of Valir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're like, that actually is very much in Shanshan territory.
Right, that is the center.
And Rand's like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it's kind
They'll
of
know.
interesting. He is pretty confident that the Shanshan are going to hold to the truce and not attack them because he's like, oh, they're honor bound.
They're honorable.
What are your thoughts?
And stuff.
Because there's kind of a whole back and forth here. The Asherman are like, this is a terrible idea because the Shanshan want to collar all of us and they think they would be doing us a favor by doing it.
Yeah, he's very uncomfortable. He's like, anytime I'm anywhere near them, they look at me with this crazy disdain.
Yeah.
And it feels bad.
It's bad. So do you think that there's a possibility of... Well, maybe not a possibility, because that was, obviously
it's possible.
Yeah, do you think that they might, betray Rand in this, hypothetical meeting we're trying to set up here? Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think it's going to go down that way?
No.
You don't? Okay, so you're kind of like Rand, who's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see them maybe being like, okay, Rand, we'll work with you if you give us them, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rand has to be decide.
Oh, if I'm going to give you... yeah, okay.
And, I hope he doesn't.
You can see him maybe doing it, though?
No.
Okay, no.
No, I certainly hope not.
That's not what I said. I didn't ask what you hope for. I said, do you see that he might do that?
No.
Okay, you don't think he will?
No.
Okay, no chance.
No, because now he's felt what it's like.
Ooh.
He's not going to subject other people to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope. Oh my god, I'm so worried. I've never been more worried about anything in my whole entire life.
Wow.
That makes me very worried.
You know what? Yeah, you should. Okay. I
wow,
like that.
I'm worried.
Yep.
No.
Anyways,
It'll be okay.
everyone's like, this is a bad idea. And Rand's like, well, doesn't matter what you think because that's
And they're like,
happening.
remember when you lost your hand? He's like, that was different.
Yeah. Well, it's actually
not
hilarious.
likely that there's 2 Forsaken with the
Yeah, it's like
Shamshin.
they're not going to have another. It's like, well,
They
that's because
might.
Nynaeve comes up and she's like, hey, this is a terrible plan that you've just made.
Yep.
And then she's the one who says, oh,
Remember
how do you
last
know
time?
that they definitely don't have another
Remember?
Forsaken?
Do
Yeah.
you remember?
It was like
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, if that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, it doesn't matter because he's like, well,
Yeah, and finally Nynaeve is like, all right, we'll just have to be extra careful. Maybe shields this
maybe
time
do
round.
more. But also, Rand has access to the true power now
Uh-huh.
because now he's thinking, I cannot be broken. And it's like, that's not healthy either.
Well, I think he can be. He's like a second away from just breaking
The
in
slightest gust of wind.
half. Yeah.
Someone
'Cause
irritating him.
even when he gets
being
mad,
annoying.
he snaps at somebody here. or
Nynaeve.
some- Oh, he does snap at Nynaeve.
He snaps at Nynaeve because she's annoying him.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, control it.
I thought I was in control, but I'm not in
But
control.
I'm not.
Okay. We're jumping ahead a little bit because first
Okay.
we have to do an argument between Nynaeve and Rand.
So Rand says, have you heard from him? And Nynaeve says, who? And Rand says, you know who.
It's Lan.
It's Lan.
And she's like, none your business.
Nanya.
Rand's like, everything is my business. All the world.
He's ridden to Malkier, hasn't he?
Yeah. So if you recall, the way he left, they were at that mansion,
Mm-hmm.
and then they basically Lan just left with Nynaeve and didn't really say bye. And then
Nope.
Rand's like, I guess he's gone now.
Yep.
And
He's
that was a
gonna
while
ride
ago.
alone. And then Nynaeve is like, fuck you, I'm gonna make sure he never rides alone. And I dropped him off so far away
So
that he
far
won't
away.
be there for months.
But 2 to 3 months, maybe more. And then he's going to have an army, and I've seen to it because she has the awesome plan.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a lot of Rand getting caught up to speed on what Lan's plan is because Lan's whole thing is, I want to die in the Blight.
I'm
Fight in the Blight.
surprised, honestly, it's taken this long for Rand to ask Nynaeve about it.
Well, I mean, that's maybe part of the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe that's something we should be concerned about, that
Yep.
Rand should maybe ask, like, hey, there was this big guy who was, like, always hanging around you for a while.
He was basically like my father figure
Basically
for the last 2 years. He's
yeah.
just gone now.
Where did he go?
Yeah,
No-
maybe ask his wife
right?
who went with him,
Who you grew up with? Like,
Yeah.
as the wisdom, like, maybe
Yep.
we should talk about this?
who was also, in some regards, your kind of weird mother figure for
Yeah.
a while.
Probably at least a little bit.
Yeah,
She's not that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyways,
yeah. So we're having it now.
yes. So, the conversation's gonna get worse before it gets worse.
Well,
It's not, but this is what I was saying. You're probably like, yeah, Rand, you're right. Okay, let's break down this conversation
Okay.
before I yell at you.
okay, go ahead. You don't know what I'm thinking.
I think I know what you're thinking. Okay, so Nynaeve's like, hey, so I know I just yelled at you and said that I set up an army for him, but the army's actually going to be probably pretty small, and he
It won't
could
be.
use some
Yeah.
he could use some help
Yeah.
from like you and the whole channeling thing you got going on probably, and probably more soldiers.
Yeah.
Like, let's put an army because Lan is riding to Tarwin's Gap, which is the main access point for all the Trollocs to spill into Randland.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty big pivotal spot here.
Yeah.
And then Rand says, well, okay, if he gets there, is he going to ride into the Blight right away? And she's like, well, if he sees Trollocs, probably.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to wait. He's probably just going to go. And then Rand says, well, if he attacks, then he deserves what he gets.
I don't agree with that.
For riding without us, he deserves it. If he rides without us, he deserves to die if that's what's going to happen.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay. And then Nynaeve's like, shocked face.
Fuck you.
Yeah. And he's like, how can you say that?
Shocked cat face, even.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Cat face, not Pikachu?
Oh, Pikachu. Oh, I was thinking emoji, not
Oh,
meme.
yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that she's actually shocked.
Yes.
Because the shocked Pikachu face is, I'm not even a little shocked.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, that's
You're
okay.
using the wrong thing at the wrong
I don't
time.
know. Okay. Depends on. But really, we're not shocked by the things that Rand says. Anyways, so Rand's like, I have to be this way. I have to say things like that because the last battle's near.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's an inside your head thought, Rand.
It is.
You don't have to say that to his wife.
I know. Well, and then he says,
you can
well,
say, I'll consider or something, and
Yeah.
just, like, move on.
he does have some inside thoughts. And that's part of the problem, is he doesn't say everything. So he says out loud, maybe my own attack on the Blight is going to happen at the same time as Lan's. Maybe it won't. So that's a fair point. And then in his head, he thinks, maybe Lan's attack can draw attention away from my own attack, and I can use him as a distraction for the Shadow, And then out loud he says, yes, his death could serve me well indeed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the issue is like you're saying things in your head, and then the last part out loud.
All of that's bad.
And then Nynaeve's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, which is fair. I'm actually on Nynaeve's side with this one. I don't necessarily side with Rand.
Okay.
I think that instead of saying, like, oh, his death will serve me well, or his attack will help be a distraction.
Yeah.
Maybe some form of communication.
Sure.
With Lan about this situation. Just be like, I get you want to go and do this. That's fine. Could we maybe coordinate it a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. But also, and we're going to kind of move into this point too, because with the next topic of like what's happening with Mat and Perrin, in some context, I actually agree with Rand that he has to look bigger picture at these are pieces on the board and we have to move them around to win the last battle. And we have to take the emotional side out of it of, you know, I have a personal connection with Lan. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to lose friends in the last battle if you want to win. Did you ever read Ender's Game or watch the movie by chance?
Nope.
Okay, Ender's Game, like the whole premise is like, it's the whole thing where they have to win this big fight, and the guy running, the kid running the battle simulation thinks it's a simulation, so he's willing to sacrifice basically everybody. And then after the simulation's over and he wins, they're like, turns out they're all real people, and you were coordinating an attack.
That for everybody.
Well, it's been out for like, I don't know, 20 years. Like, you had time. It's maybe 40 years. It's a really old book, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Even the movie's old.
Okay.
Anyways, the whole point is like, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But also, if you're going to actually win, maybe you do have to...
Well, yeah, but I feel like there's a way to go about this because you could send a force to help Lan in terms of using it as a battle tactic.
For sure,
right?
Sure.
Like, there's nothing necessarily or inherently wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's just the way he's thinking about it and the way he communicates this to Nynaeve is bad.
So are you saying that Rand being like unemotional and lacking some humanity is a bad thing?
Yes. When communicating with Nynaeve, yeah.
Okay. We got her.
When he's trying to have a conversation that's clearly wrought in emotion, it's bad that he has no emotion.
Right.
In this particular scenario, yeah. In what I need him for in this book series, it's not bad overall.
Yeah.
And sure, he'll piss people off.
Yeah.
If he has no emotion, he's going to piss people off.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's happening now.
It is happening right now.
In real time.
Yeah.
Anyways, the normal voice in Rand's head thinks, Lan named you a friend, don't abandon him.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of an internal dialogue here with Rand being Rand and Rand.
Yeah.
Saying, don't do that.
Yeah.
But...
Well, Nynaeve is like, this isn't over.
Yeah. Yeah, which is also fair. Like, we'll talk about this again.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Think about what, Lan dying also means for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so they reach the mansion finally where Rand is staying, and he heads to the throne room where there's an actual throne now.
Right.
Because before there was just a fancy chair.
Yep.
Now it's actual throne.
Yeah. See, he's throwing people off. That's what he's doing right now.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, he's not naming himself king, but he's sitting in a throne.
But he's not in the palace.
But he's But he's controlling things.
And he's openly talking about trying to restore Al-Salam to the throne or, like, picking a legitimate new ruler. So...
He's trying.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rourke and some other Aiel come in and tell him that they've located and taken another Council of Merchants person.
Yeah, Alamindra Cutrin.
Sure.
Right.
Another one of the councils they found out is dead.
Yep.
And so now we found out that they have 4 members in custody and 2 are for sure dead.
Yep. And now they need 4 more before they can...
For a vote. I guess we need 8 for a vote.
Yeah, that's basically what we need to do.
By the rules.
Yep.
Now, Rand thinks that he could just appoint a king himself, but as soon as he dies or leaves, that king wouldn't have power.
Yeah, they lose authority because if it's given by the person who's no longer alive.
Or
like
around or whatever even.
Yeah,
exactly. So he needs it to be done properly so that the people of Eridomen see that it's been done properly and respect the authority of that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Respect their authority.
Exactly. So Rand's
we've had a lot of Eric Cartman references this
have we?
episode. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Well, I said, whatever, I do what I want.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. So Rand says, hey, Rourke, you have a month. Do this in a month. We need to get this done.
And Rourke is like, that's nothing. That's too short. That's a tight timeline.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, I could give a shit. Do it anyway.
He's like, okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, next part.
Time for a follow-up meeting with Milli Vanilli.
Millicent.
Milli Vanilli the second.
Right. This is a different one.
This is a
right?
different Milli Vanilli.
Yeah. Who's the first one?
Millie Skane.
Millie Skane's the first Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli.
Okay, this is Millicent.
This is Milli Vanilli
number
the
2.
second.
She's the one who was like, hey, we had a messenger who heard from the king.
He's
and
dead.
then I tortured him and he didn't know where the king was and now he's gone and I don't know where he went.
Well, like I tortured him a little and then I just forgot about him in the cell in the basement and didn't feed him or give him water.
Whoops, forgot to give him water.
And now he's dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Rand isn't happy about that.
Yeah, so you couldn't get information from him and you left him in a dungeon to rot.
Yeah.
And like, maybe this Milli Vanilli is a dark friend.
I mean, maybe. And also, maybe she's just a bad noble.
Maybe.
Like most
maybe
nobles.
She's a dark friend, though. Working for Grandal.
Okay.
And
but
murdering messengers.
But like, hypothetically, if the messenger was already from like a Grendel situation, why would she go? Why would the dark friend be trying to get...
Maybe there was an order to kill him.
Oh, that's fair too.
Maybe he wasn't doing a good job with
Maybe they weren't really actually trying
messengering.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that.
I don't know.
Anyways, he's dead. And then apparently, Millicent was packing up her stuff because she was trying to skip town.
Dark friend.
Or
I
just
name
like,
you dark friend.
doesn't want to get murdered by Rand.
Yeah, I haven't that too. Named a dark friend in a while, so I'm just naming her.
That's why. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, she was trying to skip town. She's like, oh no, I swear I wasn't. I made a mistake. And then Rand's like, what am I going to do with you now?
Yeah, and then some other noble guy who nobody likes.
Just a dummy.
Ram-shalam, llama-ding-dong.
Ram-shalan, yeah. We haven't, and he like
Ram-a-llama-ding-dong.
dresses like an idiot, and
he is an idiot, and everybody hates him. And he shouts out, "She should be executed."
Yeah, and he's like trying to like, right.
Yeah. And Rand's like, "No, I need you to help me choose a new king. So I can't go around just executing everybody yet."
Yes.
And she's like, oh no.
Yeah. So for now.
Yeah, lock her in the same dungeon that she locked the messenger in.
Yeah, just don't let her die.
Just make sure she doesn't die until I'm done with her.
Yeah, there you go.
Done with her.
So that's the plan. And you know what? Fair is fair.
Yeah, so she's not happy, but then she's pulled out of the room by maidens.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it for Millicent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, are we okay with this punishment?
Sure.
Okay.
Probably a dark friend, so I'm fine.
Sometimes we take hard stances or like don't lock people in dungeons, but like, she did it first.
Like,
so
what the hell else are you supposed to do? She's gonna try and run away
again. A little bit deserved, yeah.
And we need her.
Yeah, exactly. That passion-free drink really got to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
All right. What's happening next? Okay. So she's gone, and now Rand wants to know, hey, we need somebody else who's had contact with the king in the last little while here.
But nobody's heard from him in so long.
Yeah, so like, who? Who knows anybody? But then we got LTT popping up here.
Oh, because if Grandal had sent that messenger, even LTT wouldn't have been able to break him because she's that good with compulsion.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, oh, right.
Right.
Yeah. Unless the compulsion can be lifted, but Rand's skill, like, absolutely no.
Yeah, and like we already have heard a little bit about taking compulsion off the brain. Like it's already, you're prone to damage the person.
Yeah, with
like
Elza.
It's really just not...
Elza and Semirog.
Yeah.
Semirog did lift the compulsion, but then she's all like, woo.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so like that's bad, and the compulsion
obviously. And it was done by
can...
garbage weaves.
Right.
It wasn't done by, like, it was done by Therin.
Yeah.
It wasn't like these knots on her brain.
It wasn't actually real compulsion.
It was just like a weird fake version.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It was like the version you order online.
Yeah.
From an Amazon ad, or from like
Wish.
An Instagram ad. Yeah. Temu, the new ones.
Those ones.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man,
that's
not what the picture looked like.
The knockoff version.
Yeah.
That comes in a pack of 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, the plan is we gotta find someone who's like has a message or whatever from the king, because we're trying to get a duplicate here, and then maybe we can figure out something about where this came from.
Okay, cool.
Like a possible location.
Yeah.
Rand needs somewhere to start. Like he needs a location to start with here.
He needs anybody else who claims
anything.
to have had a message from the king. And realistically, at this point, if we find a messenger and who's alive, and we can confirm that they've been compelled, then we have definite confirmation that Grandal's here.
Exactly. And again, like somewhere.
We don't really know.
So
no.
Anyways,
But if we find out where the messenger is, like, from...
That's true.
Or whatever, or we might have some...
Yeah, you're right.
Trail we can follow.
Yes, definitely. Like, that's kind of the plan that Rand has right now to try to restore the king or get a new one, and also maybe try and kill Grandal in the next little while here.
Yeah.
Before we leave Eridomen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we're going to have another kind of weird, uncomfortable conversation / argument with Nynaeve and Rand.
Yeah, because, well, first off, Rand's like, oh, man, maybe this is why I'm trying to resist being king, because the whole once I'm dead, they need a legitimate ruler
Well, sure.
in the country.
Yeah, but then Nynaeve is like, I don't like your plan, and I'm not done talking to you about Lan either.
Yeah.
And he's like, get away from me. And then she's like,
He's your friend, he's your friend.
Lan's your friend. And what about Matt and Perrin?
They're your friends, too.
They're your friends.
Yeah, so this is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first I want to say,
okay.
Are they friends?
Well, that's what he says.
Well, that's what...
He says that, too. It's like, we're totally different people now.
Yeah.
Than we were, 2 years ago.
And that's just, real life.
Yeah, it is.
That's just... You actually don't have to stay friends.
Yeah. Which is a little bit sad, because, they are friends, and they grew up together.
And, are they, though? Were they ever actually, friends?
Well, that's the kind of thing, you're friends with people in high school because you were forced into a school together for, years.
Yeah, I wasn't friends with every single person, right? You find your people who you get along with or whatever.
But, that doesn't necessarily mean that they stay forever.
No.
So, Rand has a point.
You can still not want them to be, dead. You can still care about them. But the problem is, they're these, tripods.
Yeah.
They gotta stick together.
Well, they're one tripod.
They're one tripod, not plural. Sorry.
Yeah. They're
You're
one
right.
tripod.
They're the legs of a tripod.
They're the legs of a tripod, yeah.
So they do have to stick together.
Yeah, and Rand's point also, and this is kind of where he doubles down on the whole, hey, these are pieces on a board I have to move around to win the last battle. I'm going to need them before the end, but also I'm going to need them in a way that I'm going to use them. This is what Rand was struggling with a long time ago, where he was like, oh, I hate using people.
Yeah, now he's fine with it.
And now he's like, well, I got to use people. If we're going to win the last battle, I got to use them.
Fine, I'm good with that.
I kind of agree with it, too.
But then we get some swirly-whirlies.
We do. That's what we got to talk about, too.
And I wish that he would share just a touch more with Nynaeve. Maybe she would back off a little.
Yeah.
On this, very angry rant. And I'm okay with her being angry in this scenario.
For sure.
Because this is incredibly frustrating for her. I can see that.
Yeah.
She's going through a lot. We haven't even actually been in her perspective in a very long time.
Right.
Which I'm relatively thankful for. But I do feel for her as a character.
Yeah.
Her husband's gone off to die somewhere.
Yeah.
Her only people that she's supposed to be protecting and caring about are who knows where.
All over the place.
Over the place. Yeah. And she's finally, I guess, worked up the courage or broken down enough to actually ask Rand.
Yeah.
And, talk about this with Rand, because I don't think she has in a while anyway.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know they're fine, whatever. And she's like, what? How?
Of all the crazy things in this world.
And he won't explain it.
Yeah, but it's there's so many crazy... It's not this is a world where there's no magic.
Yeah.
And then, this is the one magical thing is, I can see my friends when I think of them.
Yeah.
He'd be like, this is going to sound crazy, but, you say, if I think about them, I get a color swirl in my brain, and I can, see them.
I can see them.
I can see them.
I get a picture of them.
Get a picture of them. And then it'd be like, okay.
I can see what they're doing.
Yeah, that's weird, but okay.
We're connected. We're connected, and I can sense that they're okay.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But
we have literal magical water bonds and stuff. Why is this the one thing you won't explain to anyone?
Yeah. And why hasn't anybody figured it out?
Well,
for him to be like, I know they're okay. She could probably sense that there's some sort of bond between them.
Maybe. You know what? That's fair too.
She because she
be you could ask the question, I know the three of you are Ta'veren. Can you sense each other? Because that's a thing. People can sense each other.
Be like,
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Because there's that too.
I'm
but anyway,
starting to think that one of the main central themes of the Wheel of Time is lack of communication.
What?
I'm starting to pick that up.
You're starting to think that?
Starting to pick that up. Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
I could maybe see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
Let's talk about these color swirls, because this is a little bit crazy.
This is good.
Okay.
I like this. Okay. We have Perrin standing by a tent with Galad, and when the fuck did Galad become a White Cloak?
Right. This is crazy.
What? This is crazy.
Yeah, not the Galad being a White Cloak thing, but the fact that Perrin
is with Galad.
With Galad. Yeah.
Where and why and how?
Yeah.
And what?
What else does that mean?
And what?
Well, because who's with Perrin?
And also why?
Who's with Perrin?
And also how?
Who's with Perrin?
Vail.
And
Barreling.
Galad's mother.
Oh, Morgaze.
Morgaze is supposed to be a parent.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. Right?
Cool. This is the first time I've ever been like,
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
let's get to Perrin.
It's like your favorite side character.
It is my favorite side character.
It's like, why is this, you know?
And that didn't even click for me. I'm
Yeah,
so
I know.
glad I'm talking to you about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's potential there.
Yo.
Yo.
That's so good.
Well, it turns out that Morgaze actually ran away.
No!
a week-
Minutes before.
Minutes before.
Or she's like peeking through bushes.
You're right.
And it's like, oh no, I don't want Galad to see me.
Or she's just dead.
No,
You
well,
know?
there's never that.
Okay.
Not Morgaze. No. Of all the people,
Yeah.
Morgaze cannot
Yeah.
die.
Okay.
Now,
Technically, it's not his mother or his stepmom, but that doesn't matter.
you know what's interesting?
It's
I
basically-
glazed over that completely.
Yeah.
And I really focused on the fact that Matt is in Camelin.
That too. Yeah,
Because,
there is
like,
that.
What? I thought we were stopping in a stupid village to find a stupid dark friend who's stupid handing out his posters,
Well, we time jumped.
and we were supposed to get
Maybe
all
that
of
goes really well, and then they just like skippity
Well,
do that.
clearly.
I guess he doesn't die in that random village.
I guess not. Do
Were
they
you
find
worried?
them?
Were you worried about that?
Well, I was thinking there'd be some relative conflict.
Okay.
I was thinking there'd be like something interesting.
Sure.
Like they set us up
Yeah.
for it to be like, we're going there, we're gonna literally hunt a dark friend.
Well,
who's
we could do
searching
like
for
a
us.
time jump back, and we could still see some things
That's
happen.
true, we can
like,
do that.
Maybe we'll pick up before Perrin and Galad are at a tent together. Like maybe a little bit of backstory. But
I hope so.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a pretty good little.
Okay.
Little spoiler
no, I
there.
do. I like that
It's
part.
great.
Oh, well, he says he's in the streets of a familiar city, maybe Camelin.
He does say that.
But like,
It kind of sounds like it's Camelin.
Oh, Four Kings,
That's true too. But Four Kings doesn't look like
a city.
Camelin.
Yeah.
And Four Kings is like a little town.
Yeah,
little
this
village.
feels like a huge jump forward because, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested more in all of that than like the rest of this
Fantastic,
chapter.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Well, I mean that's it. That's
No, I need.
we really didn't
I
get
need
very much.
Brandon Sanderson
Okay.
to tell me more.
There's like 20 more
about
chapters.
those.
There's 2 more books and 20 chapters left in this one.
Good.
You
So he
might
will?
get more
So
Perrin and
maybe?
Matt.
I might.
Maybe.
Okay. But like soon, you know?
Right.
Don't leave me hanging.
Yeah. Okay. So Nynaeve is still berating him. It's like, they're your friends, blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
And then he's like, stop antagonizing me. Shut up about it all. Rah!
I have
And this
so
is where he
much to
loses
do.
it. Loses it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Nynaeve, well, okay, first he's like, hey, do you want to end up exiled like Cadsuane? But also this is when he's reaching for the access key. And like,
But he stops himself. He
Okay.
recognizes he's reaching for it, and he stops
but
himself.
also Nynaeve recognizes that
That
like he's going for it, and that's
Sure.
also problematic.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you recognize when you're about to start biting your nails sometimes?
All the time.
It's just a habit.
Right.
It's just a habit.
Except me biting my nails doesn't mean that I might blow up the universe.
You know what? You blow up my brain.
That's true. That's
you
true.
blow up my brain every time I
thanks,
see you
babe.
biting your
You
nails.
blow up my
and
brain.
it drives me freaking crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
You know,
similar.
Yeah, I can see that your wine glass is literally off the edge of the table right
It's
now,
not
too.
a wine glass. It's a cocktail glass.
The cocktail glass is half off the table.
It's not half. It was like 3/4. It was like a quarter of the round
Right,
part.
right. And
Was
there's
a
room
little-
on the table. Like, why wouldn't you put it all the
Oh
way
my-
on the table? I'm just saying. There's things that we can both work on. Just like Rand and Nynaeve.
Okay, listen though.
She shouldn't antagonize him. He shouldn't blow up in anger
Okay.
so much.
You're not Rand though.
You're not well, yeah, okay,
Yes, I
never mind.
am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, there's some good things
Yeah.
that make me naive. But if I stop putting my glasses on the edge of the table,
Yeah.
are you gonna stop biting your nails?
100%. 100%.
You
Because I know
told
that's
me you
never
were
going to
gonna-
happen.
You told me you were gonna stop biting your nails when I started reading this book series.
I did. And you threatened to quit on book 3.
Yeah.
But it's book 12 now. What are you going to do? Quit? Oh, man.
I'm gonna
hilarious.
continue this podcast without you.
I'm really not even necessary. I don't need to be here.
I don't know. I wouldn't even know that Galad is Morgaze's mom, and that matters.
Galad is not Morgaze's mom,
No,
and Morgaze is
okay.
technically not even Galad's mom.
Maybe.
It's his stepmom, but it's like, it's fine. That's...
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man.
Okay, so let's finish this chapter.
Okay.
Okay.
Now basically this argument just continues and continues, and then Nynaeve starts to look really sad and is like, oh, Rand, how can you continue like this? This hardness in you, it'll break you.
Right.
And then Rand is like, I do what I must.
Right. And then he yells at everyone to go do the things that I told you to do. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And then the chapter ends with LTT being like, you promised we could die.
Yep.
And Rand says, I did and we will.
Can't wait.
Okay.
And he goes, can't wait for that, because this
wait.
all sucks.
Seriously, just...
Yeah, he just has under a lot of pressure, you know?
Yes, you know what? It's getting worse because...
It is getting worse. I like that he's thinking about Nynaeve in Cadsuane's position as an advisor.
That's true.
But I just wish that Nynaeve knew that.
Right.
Because if she knew she was in an advisory role, maybe she'd approach it a little differently.
Would she, though? Because...
She might. She might have the wherewithal. Give her that credit at least, you know?
Okay. You know what? I can do
that. If
that.
she knew she was in an actual advisory sort of position and not just Mama Bear.
Right.
I don't know. She might approach it differently.
Yeah, okay.
So, there is that.
Yeah.
And that's the end of this chapter.
It is. It is. Now, for next episode, we are doing one chapter again.
Okay.
And then we're going to do 2 doubles.
Okay, got it.
After that.
Okay. And at some point, we'll be at JordanCon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, we are planning to for sure do a live Q&A live stream on YouTube during the weekend of JordanCon.
All right.
Somewhere either April 19th or 20th.
Right, that's the Friday, Saturday?
Friday, Saturday.
Right, okay.
So we'll check that out.
Yep, you gotta
Make
see
sure
what
you
the
look for
space
that.
available is. Make sure you submit questions.
Oh yeah, we'll do that for
We'll
sure.
do that, yeah.
And we'll see.
Okay.
We'll play it by ear. Maybe we'll record live there. Maybe we won't.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah. My costume is underway, so
Yeah.
that's my favorite part. Okay, well, before you go clomping around the Muddy City, I'm gonna say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, and Gabby Young. With music by Audionautics. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show, like information on how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, you can visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And if you write us a really nice review and put your Instagram or Twitter handle in the review on Apple Podcasts, we will be picking people at random to be giving out some merchandise like stickers and bookmarks, and we'll send them out to those people as a huge thank you. Now be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.